In my honest opinion, when I sat back and I think about it, Manny Pacquiao might fuck around and stop Errol Spence. So people ask me in my gym, what do I think about the fight between Errol Spence and Manny Pacquiao? I said if Errol Spence beat Manny Pacquiao, I'm really not going to be impressed by that, because just based off how the young is supposed to overtake the old in boxing, he's supposed to win. It's not supposed to be no shocker or nothing like that. So getting credit for beating Manny Pacquiao, it's not going to come off of my shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Any credit towards that. But when they ask me, well, how do you think the fight will go? And as I start to think about it, I started laughing. And people's like, what? I was like, because you know what? I've never really thought about them, actually squaring up. But now that I think about it, Pacquiao might fuck around and stop Errol Spence. Because I don't really see Errol Spence beating Manny Pacquiao. I don't. And I know a lot of people think that I'm crazy, but what else is new? My opinion always differ from the majority. I just see things that other people don't see. But I know one thing that I'm good at, and that's comparing styles. I'm good at that. And when I assess it and I look at it, Pacquiao's style and his attributes, even as an old man, will give Spence hell. Will give him hell. Spence can't handle no volume puncher, and he definitely can't handle nobody going forward, and he definitely can't handle nobody who know how to create angles. A volume puncher and somebody pressing Errol Spence and know how to create angles will beat Errol Spence. Simple and plain, just based off the style alone. Just based off the style alone. See, one thing when I look at boxers, I look to see if they're evolving. This is one thing that I praise Canelo Alvarez to the end of the earth. He's one boxer that I can constantly see evolving. Constantly evolving. Some of these guys reach a spot and they plateau. Like Tank, I like Tank, plateaued. The Charlos, they plateaued for a long time. Jermell did not really start to make an advancement till he got whooped on by Tony Harrison. Then he kind of went back to the Jermell before training with Derrick James. The same thing with Jamal, plateaued. But he's got better, but he's still far behind, and he's more behind his brother, but he has more of the classical tradition type of boxing, meaning trainers always tell you that the basics will take you a far way, and he got the basics locked and stopped. So Jamal will beat a lot of guys based off the basics, but first he got to believe in himself and take some better fights. But I don't want to get lost on that. But when it comes to Manny Pacquiao and Errol Spence, Pacquiao just throws too many punches for the guy. Errol Spence is flat-footed. He needs to be cemented, and the whole slow factor, it got to do with his punch value. Whatever happened to combination punchers in boxing, I have no idea. Where are the combination punchers? Floyd, one of the reasons he was great, he was a combination puncher. Manny Pacquiao is a combination puncher. I don't know why dudes stopped throwing combinations. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's wrong with this era of boxers, but when you come from an elite background like Manny Pacquiao, shit, you fuck around and stop somebody like Errol Spence. Listen, I don't want to hear about what y'all think Errol Spence will do. Errol Spence ain't knocked nobody out in years. Okay? In years. So I don't want to hear about the power thing. And like I told you, I don't want to hear about the skill thing. Outboxed by Sean Porter. Now, some people say, just like in the Mikey Garcia fight, oh, he chose the box. He chose the box. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He choose to go life or death with somebody coming up 2 weight classes just so he can get criticized and know it don't look good. No. And then Sean Porter caught him and told him, so you do admit that you was trying to knock him out and you couldn't do it. Okay? Now, when it comes to Sean Porter, well, actually I meant Mikey Garcia. But when it comes to Sean Porter, they say that, he chose to box that match. He chose to box him. You know what I'm saying? He could have knocked him out, but he chose to box. You a damn lie. And you want to know the reason you can prove that? Because if he chose to box Sean Porter, then what was the point of you doing all those dirty low blows? You start doing those low blows because Sean Porter was getting the best of you boxing. Y'all ever seen Errol Spence fight dirty? As a matter of fact, going into the fight, he blamed Sean Porter for being a dirty fighter. Okay? When Sean Porter was putting on his ass, what was Errol Spence doing? Purposely fighting dirty, purposely throwing low blows because he was desperate. So don't talk about this great boxing skills and don't talk about this great power because he ain't got it. Okay? And he went life or death with Mikey Garcia and showed Mikey Garcia respect. All right? And I believe Pacquiao could beat Mikey Garcia. You just seen what he did to Keith Thurman. So why is it crazy for me to believe that he'll whoop Errol Spence's ass? I think he would. I seriously think he would. No doubt. When I do the comparisons, yeah, Pacquiao beat him. You know what I'm saying? And that's when Pacquiao, man, that's when his legendary status really starts to pick up. You know what I'm saying? If he whoop on Errol Spence's ass and exit the game or whatever, like I said, I know Pacquiao chasing that payday. Like I said, I can't be too much mad at the man. I know he got a family and he got bills. You know what I'm saying? And he got kids out of wedlock he need to take care of. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, man, I get it. But when it comes to these two locking horns, you know what I'm saying? I think Manny Pacquiao beats him. And that's the other thing. They're like, well, Pacquiao got beat by Jeff Horn. Listen, man. At that time, Jeff Horn was a good fucking fighter. I don't know why y'all try. Just because y'all don't know somebody, it don't mean that they're not a good fighter. Period. It doesn't mean that they're not a good fighter. Jeff Horn was a good fucking fighter. And he mauled the shit out of Pacquiao. That's what it's going to take to beat Pacquiao. Errol Spence can't do that. He can't. So if you ask me, Pacquiao beat that ass. Straight up. Pacquiao will beat that ass. And let me close it with this. You want to know how you know the true status of Errol Spence? If Errol Spence was really the star that he claims to be over Terrence Crawford, he would have no problem getting a Manny Pacquiao fight. Manny Pacquiao would jump at the opportunity to fight Errol Spence. Now tell me I'm lying. Pacquiao chasing the bag. He chasing McGregor because he's more popular than Errol Spence. If Errol Spence was really like that, if he was really the star that he claims that he is, he would have no problem getting a Pacquiao fight. Pacquiao will be more than willing to do that. No problem. No problem. So, the fact that he might be looking at fighting Mikey Garcia over you kind of shows that when you fought Mikey Garcia, it was really Mikey Garcia's background and fan base and heritage that really carried that fight. This is why Jerry Jones bought out Errol Spence tickets. You can't be a star and you got the owners of the Dallas Cowboys buying out your seats for your fights. The fuck you got to do that for? You know what I'm saying? Let your fans pay for that because you a big star. But I think Pacquiao beats Errol Spence. Yep. You know, you can leave your comments in the comment section and tell me what you think. Because I would love to hear it. Because as far as out-punching Pacquiao, outlanding Pacquiao, I don't see it. And he not knocking Pacquiao out. That ain't happening. So how do y'all think Errol Spence would beat Pacquiao? This is what I really want to hear. Tell me. Because a lot of you guys are, I don't know, y'all watch boxing, but y'all don't study the boxing part. Y'all don't care to improve your boxing knowledge or even know the game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talk a lot of shit. Y'all got the fanboying down to a science. But as far as being able to assess a fight and to talk from a true boxing fan's perspective, you guys are not able to do it. This is why you get sensitive about shit. If you could do what real hardcore boxing fans, and you know, and this is the thing, even the hardcore boxing fans are not really hardcore boxing fans. Like I said, because y'all don't know shit. Now, my angle is a little bit different about how I go and how I look at boxing, because I look at boxing from a fighter's point of view more than somebody sitting on the couch and something like that. I know exactly what I'm looking at. You know, I know exactly what I'm assessing. So a lot of times, if you're not in that position, or if you don't box yourself, you're not a practitioner, you don't teach it, you don't coach it, you don't whatever, I understand why what I might say and think, it differs from you guys, and it's a little bit off, or it may seem off to you. I do understand that little gap right there. But nonetheless, you shouldn't be that far off, because that gets to the point where we can't talk boxing, because there's more fanboying and being fans of man more than anything else. And this is why we can't accurately talk boxing, amongst a couple other issues with boxing. But I believe Pacquiao beats Errol Spence, you know, and even if Errol Spence beats Pacquiao, it won't be by no damn knockout. He gonna go all 12 rounds. Better believe that. And once again, I'm not gonna be impressed. It's an old man, bro. It's an old man. You can't dominate a slowed down Pacquiao. Now, how is that gonna make sense when your name was built off of so-called schooling Mayweather, or giving Floyd Mayweather a black eye? Like I said, I believe that shit was false. You know, I believe that shit was false. I believe that's something that Al came to Mayweather and say, look, we need to build this guy up right quick. Can we say, you know, blase splee happened in sparring, even though it really didn't happen? Like, all right, yeah, cool, because you know, I am splitting some of the revenue with this cat with you, so and you is part of PBC, you know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and do that. You know, that's exactly what I believe went down. I don't believe you went there and schooled no Mayweather. I don't see how. Getting outboxed by Sean Porter, I do not see how. I really don't. You know? So that's the same thing they did with Adrian Broner. I'm going to put it like this. You guys got to know how to read the signs. When Adrian Broner first came on the scene, what did they do to give Adrian Broner the attention to make him the star he is today? They jump-started his career by what? Being seen, caught, and hanging out with who? Floyd Mayweather. That's how he really he was hanging around, and he did that on purpose. That was to help build him up. You know, and then as soon as he lost, Mayweather stopped fucking with him like that. You know, Mayweather is the name that runs boxing. Whether you like it or not, his name bring attention. His name build people up. His name helps get eyes on your fighter. Still to this day, even as a retired old ass man, that's what his name does. So when it comes to this, it's the same way they started Canelo. It's the same way that they started Pacquiao. It's the same way they started Earl. It's the same way that they started Adrian Broner. All of Mayweather's name. So I don't believe you styled on no Mayweather in no damn boxing ring. You know what I'm saying? Let me see the sparring footage. Y'all let her release everything else. This is a show and tell era. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and put that out. But I don't believe that. Pacquiao might fuck around and stop this boy. An old ass man. Anyways, that's my opinions. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. I love to hear it. Bruce Van, I'm out.